Hello, students. This is Teacher Josh, and we are taking a look at a super cool book called A Changing Earth. Man, did you guys know the Earth is changing every day in different ways, natural ways? Sure, humans are changing it, but it's changing itself. I mean, we're talking about mountains forming. How do they form? We're talking about volcanoes, drifting continents. This is going to be an exciting book to take a look at. All right. Chapter 1, Changing Landforms. What is a landform? Well, a landform is any kind of geographical structure on the earth. So mountains are landforms, valleys are landforms, plateaus are landforms. And in this particular picture, you can see the Colorado River. It winds through the Grand Canyon, one of the deepest, widest canyons in the world. Earth has been changing for billions of years, man. The powerful energy of our planet has pushed mountains upward. It's open canyons. It's amazing, right? Erosion has smoothed rugged peaks. All right, what's erosion? Erosion is when the wind and the rain or water, it moves the dirt, it washes away the dirt and the sand and it rubs, it causes erosion. It can even change the way that a mountain looks. Erosion has smoothed rugged peaks. Volcanoes have raised islands out of the sea. The earth may seem unchanged, but it moves and changes all the time. Many powerful forces cause the earth to change. Running water is one example. It can slowly break down or erode solid rock. So, break down and erode. That's what erode means, okay? To break down. How are things broken down like rock? Well, rushing rivers. That means rushing means moving quickly. Crashing ocean waves and even rain all have this power. They can all cause erosion. The Grand Canyon in Arizona formed this way. The Colorado River slowly carved out the canyon. There's a cool word, carved. It means to dig out. That moving water. Man, it's so powerful. They carved out the canyon. This took place over millions of years. The river slowly cut into the soil like a plow. Sand and pebbles were carried away by the river. As time passed, the river carried away more soil, little by little. Okay, little by little, that's a nice expression. It means very slowly over time. The canyon grew wider and deeper. Today, the Grand Canyon is 15 miles wide, about 1 mile deep. Man, that's amazing. All right. Do you like to dig in the dirt? Do you pick up rocks and study when you travel to new places? If so, you may want to become a geologist. Okay, so we've got this cool word right here, geologist. There it is again. It's going to tell us, what is a geologist? A geologist works as a detective trying to explain the history and structure of the earth. Geologists help us find where sources of energy like coal, oil, and natural gas are hidden in the earth. Geologists also teach us how our earth changes. Man, these guys are really important, right? Super cool. All right, man, check out this picture. Here's another example of wind erosion. Right here, you can see how the wind is pushing the sand and making sand dunes. So wind is definitely a huge force of nature. Heavy gusts of wind sweep up the loose dirt and sand. Wind can change the shape of hills, mountains, and other landforms. Sometimes sand collects into hills called dunes. There you go, there's a cool word. So these hills of sand are called dunes. Sand dunes form in places that have lots of sand and wind. One such place is Sleeping Bear National Lakeshore in Michigan. Hey, that's cool. I used to live in Michigan and I've been to the Sleeping Bear National Lakeshore. It's super cool, lots of big dunes, and it's a lot of fun. You can run down the dunes, and they're right by Lake Michigan. So, a lot of fun to run down those and roll down those. There are sand dunes that rise more than 400 feet. So, we're talking huge, really huge sand dunes. Gusts of wind come in from the lake, Lake Michigan. Sand grains are pushed to the top of the dunes. With each gust, the dunes grow taller. Okay, they get taller. Taller means they keep rising up. When the direction of the wind changes, the dunes change shape. The changing winds move the grains to new places. The tops of some dunes are swept away, and new dunes begin to grow. It's pretty cool. Sand dunes are like a living organism. All right. Super cool stuff, guys. Man, we're here and we're talking about other ways that the ground is eroded, and we've got water, definitely. You got the example of the Grand Canyon. You've got these sand dunes, the wind and the sand. Wind definitely does it. I want to talk about one other thing that drastically changes the earth and its erosion. Huge mountains of ice called glaciers. I mean, these things are huge. All right. There's one right now. I read an article just the other day. There is a glacier floating out in the Atlantic that is the size of Rhode Island. That's a small state on the east coast of the United States. This thing is huge. Glaciers cover large parts of the earth, and they have for thousands of years. All right, there's one more way that we see erosion happen, and that's just through straight up gravity. Gravity. Let's talk about that. Um, Gravity in conjunction with the glaciers. Okay, the gravity pulls these huge slabs of ice down the mountain into the valley, and it just moves rocks and dirt and everything comes along with it. The rocks cut grooves into the Earth's surface. These grooves, you see the groove here? Groove is just like a giant hole in the Earth. When the glaciers melt, they left behind valleys. So entire valleys were left behind because of these huge bulldozers, ice bulldozers, really. Glaciers changed Yosemite National Park in California long ago. Yosemite Valley was once covered by glaciers. The glaciers covered the valley for more than 300,000 years. When they melted, okay, the word melted, so when the ice turns back into water, we call that melting. They left behind a U-shaped valley bordered by high, sharp cliffs. Waterfalls also formed as melting snow rushed over cliff edges. What's a cliff? A cliff is like right here. See where this waterfall is? A cliff is just a sharp drop on the side of a mountain. This is how Bridal Veil Falls formed. Water drops more than 620 feet or 189 meters as it spills over the rocky cliff. Man, that's really cool. The world is covered with beautiful landforms. Some were created by the wind, Others were formed by moving water or ice. All of them are examples of amazing powers of nature. What is nature? Nature is everything outside, like the trees, the mountains. That's nature. Nature's powerful, much more powerful than anything a man made. That's for sure. All right. When we come back, we're going to take a look at how mountains form. Always kind of wondered that. Well, we're going to find out. We'll see you back here soon. Bye, everybody.